welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. So tonight we've got another track-by-track album battle. We're going to put my two favorite Aerosmith albums against each other, those being Toys in the Attic versus Rocks. This was requested by City Build Minecraft 3012. So he asked me to put these two albums against each other, and since I love these two albums and I love me some Aerosmith, figured why not. So I expect this to be a close battle. I think both of these albums are phenomenal. Between the two of them, I have to say I probably like this one just a little bit better, and I think that just has to do with the fact that I have a little bit more of a nostalgic connection to this one, but this one is really as solid as it gets to. So this should be a close battle. Let's start this thing off. We have Toys in the Attic versus Back in the Saddle, and I love both tracks. Especially love Steven Tyler's delivery of Back in the Saddle when he just comes out screaming, "I'm back in the saddle again." That's just awesome. And then the end of the song when it kind of sounds like he's riding the horse, and you just kind of picture him riding a horse into town. That's about as badass as that gets. But I got to go with my favorite Aerosmith song of all time, which is Toys in the Attic. So awesome hard rocking tune. I think it's a great way to kick off the album, as is Back in the Saddle. But like I said, Toys in the Attic is my favorite Aerosmith song, so I'm going to go with that one. Next up, we have Uncle Salty versus Last Child. Again, both songs are awesome. Last Child almost has a little bit of a funkiness to it. Uncle Salty is kind of underrated in my opinion. I think it's a song that probably should be more well known to the casual fan than it is, because I always thought the song was just incredibly catchy. I gotta go with Uncle Salty on this one. I love Last Child, but Uncle Salty is one of my favorite Aerosmith songs too, so that's 2-0 for Toys in the Attic. Next up, we have Adam's Apple versus Rats in the Cellar. Again, I love both of these songs. Rats in the Cellar is a pretty rockin' tune. Adam's Apple, what more can you say? Another pretty good rock song. I love both these songs too. But I think the way that I'm feeling today, I'm gonna give this one to Rats in the Cellar. I really love the guitar solo at the end of that song too. So I'm gonna give that one to Rocks. We'll go with Rats in the Cellar. Next up, we have Walk This Way versus Combination. Now, in all honesty, I'm really burnt out on Walk This Way. I pretty much don't ever need to go to that song again. When I'm playing the album through, I don't always skip it, but it's not something that I go out of my way for anymore. I'm just kind of played out with Walk This Way. Combination, on the other hand, one of the most underrated songs in the entire catalog. It really rocks pretty good. Just badass vocal delivery from someone told me, or someone said that Joe Perry sings the lead vocal, but I hear Steven's voice. I don't know if Joe is singing as well, but I always thought Steven's voice sort of outshined it in that song. But it's a badass track. I gotta go Combination. I love Combination. All right, that brings us to Big 10-Inch Record versus Sick as a Dog. Even though I really do like Big 10-Inch Record, it's a lot of fun, a lot of innuendo, really has that Aerosmith personality to it. I gotta go Sick as a Dog. It's my favorite song, Rocks, so I gotta give that one to Rocks. Alright, next up we have Sweet Emotion versus Nobody's Fault. Unlike Walk This Way, I don't think I will ever get sick of Sweet Emotion. I think that song is one of the band's best. I still jam to it today. Anytime it comes on the radio, instead of turning it, I turn it up. I love Sweet Emotion. Nobody's Fault is great as well. It's one of the heaviest songs the band's ever done, one of the darkest probably. I love the way that Steven Tyler screams in that song right out of the gate. "Lord, I must be dreaming." Just awesome stuff. But I'm going to go Sweet Emotion. Love them both, but I'm going to go Sweet Emotion on that one. So next up we have No More No More versus Get the Lead Out. Get the Lead Out, it's a cool tune, but No More No More I think is one of the most, if not the most underrated song in the band's catalog. It's I think it's a song that should have been a hit and it should have been a single. Um, always loved it. Always loved it. Nothing against Get the Lead Out. That one's cool as well, but I gotta go No More No More on that. So next we have Round and Round versus Lick and a Promise. Round and Round, one of the heaviest songs the band's ever done. My only little nitpick with it is I think the end of the song when Steven is singing round and round and round and round, that kind of drags out a little bit too long, but that's just a nitpick of an otherwise great track. Lick and a Promise is a fun, catchy tune as well, but I gotta go with Round and Round on this one. So that brings us to the album closers, You See Me Crying versus Home Tonight. I've actually never been the biggest fan of You See Me Crying. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it as much as the rest of the album, save for Walk This Way. It's a decent ballad. It was never one that I just really got that into. On the other hand, I think Home Tonight, despite being my least favorite song on Rocks, I still love as much as the rest of this album, and I think it is a great ballad. I definitely prefer Home Tonight between the two. So there you have it. The final score, 5-4. Kind of figured that would be a close battle, but Toys in the Attic holds out and wins. So in the comments, let me know which of these two great classic Aerosmith albums you prefer. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you next time.